We're so excited to be joined by our next guest. Please welcome from his home, Matthew Morrison.
Hello.
Hi. Well, hello, Matthew.
Thank you for letting me dress up. I haven't dressed up in a while, so this is nice.
Besides your wardrobe, I am so into your interior design here. Can you move over a little bit? Love you and everything, but scoot over. Oh my God.
Amazing.
Oh my God. So
I actually
cool.
made that headboard.
What?
Like this, like kind of native.
Yeah, what is it? Is it
It's
like an
wood.
actual fabric?
It's wood. It's just like this really cool, like kind of mosaic design.
Very
This
Aztec.
is officially an HGTV moment on the reel.
Yeah.
Like mixed with Cribs back in the day, MTV Cribs. Show us your bedroom.
This is everything. So how are you doing during this quarantine?
I am thriving. It's been wonderful. I'm not someone who likes to sit still very often, but
Yeah.
this kind of forced stillness is so amazing because my wife and I we have a 2-year-old child, and honestly, it's been the most connected we've ever been. And I've been so thankful just to kind of sit still and just really just breathe and just be. I've been practicing a lot of like meditation and stuff like that, and honestly that's something that's hard for me to do, so to really find a practice and really set myself into it in the proper way, it's been wonderful.
Well, how has quarantine been? I mean, you say that it's like the stillness. We feel that, Matthew. But, being with your wife and a 2-year-old, how are they taking it? How are you guys handling it together?
Well, my wife is an interior designer. This is why this looks great.
So good.
My wife's also an amazing cook. I want to do this like post where it's just like a partner appreciation post, because I am just so even more blown away by everything that she does, and she's definitely the rock of this family. And we've just been, like I said, thriving, and just I think we're in that age. My son is 2.5 years old, and he's not quite in school yet, so he has no idea what's going on. So it's really like we've just been playing, and I feel like I'm tapping into that inner child that we kind of lose sometimes when we have schedules and meetings and all these different things. Life kind of happens, and you kind of lose touch of play.
Well, you actually posted a video of your wife giving you and your son a haircut. Are you happy with the results?
I am very happy with the results. I have to be perfectly honest. My wife is someone who's been cutting my hair for a while.
Nice.
It's just, we're on the road a lot, and it's hard to, find trusted people to mess with your hair. So it's been fun. But this is, I actually, it's a look that I think a lot. This is my second time doing this already, this quarantine. But I think I've seen a lot of people, a lot of guys shaving their heads.
Cut it on down.
Yeah.
It looks great. It looks great. Well done to your wife.
Now you've revealed that you have not gone through the toilet paper crisis that everybody, that it feels like everybody else is going through. Why?
I am a bidet all day player over in this house.
All right.
Nice.
All day.
That is amazing.
It's funny because I feel like with everything that's going on right now, there's a lot of customs and cultural things that we're kind of I myself am taking from different cultures, specifically from Japanese culture. Like, I've always been into bowing. I love bowing. I think it's a sign of respect, and also you don't have to touch people. Because people were doing the elbow thing for a while. I wasn't really into that. I would prefer to do the bow.
Hello.
And I've always been into, not always, but like in the last few years, been into bidets. I think it's, if you think of it, I mean, this is a interesting show to be talking about it. But when you talk about the dirtiest part of your body, and you're basically just smearing stuff around, it's kind of disgusting when you think about it like that. It's like going. Okay, listen to this. It's like
The
going
show is called The Real, and these are the real facts.
Okay.
You're going into a shower and not turning the water on and taking a dry wash rag and washing yourself. That's basically what we're doing.
You're so right. You're so right.
Yeah, so I feel like that is something that I
Awesome.
think this is a good push. My friend actually has a bidet company called Hello Tushy, and she has been
That's so cute.
killing
That is.
killing it right now. Like she did the biggest month of sales in March. But I think it's something that I think it would be good that we all adapt to.
To consider.
Wow.
Mhm.
Got it.
All right.
Well, we actually saw that you had a small virtual Glee cast reunion. So we have to ask you, have you seen any of your former cast members recently in real life?
IRL. We did have Kevin McHale, who played Artie on the show. Him and his boyfriend, they came over and we did the whole 6 feet thing, and they actually baked. Well, I should say his partner Austin baked pastries for us, and
Oh.
it was
Oh.
beautiful. They came over, they like kind of put
Wow.
it down. We went over. My son Revel,
Yeah.
he went and was just so excited. And
We are super excited for your new album. It's called Disney Dreaming with Matthew Morrison. Why is this album so special to you?
it's so funny to be talking about an album right now, and
Right.
releasing one, and that's. But for
Music
me,
gets us through.
it does, and especially this album for me because it's a Disney album. It's
Yes.
my personal take of on classic Disney songs that I've grew up listening to. We all have. I love Disney. I always have, and for me, this was a kind of a love letter to my son. And it was the best time I've ever had in the studio recording an album, because I think usually you're at it's kind of a linear process. When you're doing a standards album, you have to kind of stay in that lane. When you're doing a pop album, you stay in that lane. But a Disney album, you have so many different character voices. You have so many different styles of music, and it was just so much fun to be in the studio, and with the intention of every word I was saying was for my son. So it was a beautiful process.
Oh,
That is
that's sweet.
amazing.
I mean, this sounds like my dream. I love me some Disney musicals. Like, it's very serious. I don't even know how you did it. How did you choose? How did you pick which songs to use? I know there were so many good ones that just ended up on the cutting room floor.
Yeah, well, I mean that was the hardest part of the process was figuring out which song to choose. It was like you're given the keys to this incredible vault of gold, and you're like, okay. But for me, I'm hoping they ask me back to do another one, so I can do all the songs I didn't get to do. But I harken back to the days of me growing up, listening to Zippity Doodah and Bare Necessities
Yes.
and that kind of stuff. And
Such a
then
good song.
I know, and I feel like the
Any Lion King?
Any Lion King, no, no
And there's got to
Lion
be a part two. There's got to be a part two.
No, I know.
There's gotta be a
Absolutely.
part two.
I did hit a lot of those golden age of I
The
call it
90s.
Renaissance. Yes, totally. Like Aladdin and Hercules and
Little
Yes.
Mermaid.
Yes.
Beauty and
Oh
the
my God.
Beast.
but it was such a joy, and I feel like for parents right now, this is such a fun album to, because I did 5 songs that are kind of more lullabies, because that's what I love to sing my kid to sleep every night, but then 5 songs that are more dance parties. We wake up and we have dance parties every morning, so
Oh.
that was
That's
Aw.
the best.
So awesome.
Matthew, you better be careful. I'm moving in, man. Your house sounds like lit. It's perfect. Okay, I also know you don't only have dance parties in your home, but you also were thinking of opening up a New York dance museum. And I was wondering, now, what's going on during the quarantine? Has this stopped production? Has it paused?
Yeah, well, we kind of had this. Well, it's called the Museum of Dance. We call it MOD, and basically I feel like interactive theater is kind of the future of live theater. I think
Wow.
people are kind of tired of sitting passively in seats. I love it. I mean, that's my bread and butter. That's where I grew up. But for me, I think there's something so fresh and exciting about immersive theater, and I feel like everyone's been doing this 1.0 version of it, and I feel like MOD is this 2.0 version where you go through this museum, you are introduced to the history of American dance, like how the 20s, how women's suffrage led to flappers, and how in the 40s people, were so tired of wartime and stuff, and they just wanted to cut loose, and so they started swing dance. And basically, you go through these decades, you learn all this history, but we are actually going to teach you the dances on top of that. So you burn while you learn.
Wow.
You burn 500 calories.
That's so dope.
I love this idea.
Oh, but we cannot wait to see you on stage again when this is all over. Let everyone know where they can get your album.
It can anywhere. I mean, you go on, every platform, I guess they say,
Yes, yeah.
Wherever music is streamed.
There you go. That's,